Hey guys.
Hi, welcome to the Media Pending Podcast. This is episode 2 of season 2 because our books episode is lost to the ether.
Is that actually not coming out?
No, it's not coming out, which is a shame because that was a good episode.
I said some pretty off-color things in that episode, so it's probably good.
We cancel him.
Oh, it was an episode on banned books.
Nice.
So we did.
It wasn't actually on banned books.
Like George Orwell Animal
Like,
Look, socialism doesn't work because the animals tried it in this book, the talking animals, and it didn't work.
Jason read a particular page from To Kill a Mockingbird.
And Aiden read one from Huck Finn. All right. So, All right. So today on Media Pending, we're going to be going through Letterbox reviews for movies that have been pretty much unanimously seen as great movies. And we went.
Was that the criteria?
It was for me. What did you do?
I just picked movies.
Okay. Well, basically, we looked for the worst Letterbox reviews we could find, and we are going to read them and discuss. Each of us have 3, but depending on how long it takes us through discussion, we might not get to all of them.
Can I go first?
Yes.
Okay. You guess the movie. It's just a half-star review that says cringe homophobic Christians.
Could be anything. I'm gonna go with Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
No, that would be a review on 2002 Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they ever explain why?
Is that the whole review?
I'm somewhat of a Christian myself.
Is that the whole review?
Yeah.
What? I don't even. I mean, he goes to a church in the third one, doesn't he? Or...
I think there is like
Eddie Brock goes to church. He prays to God to kill Peter Parker. Dude, imagine someone hated you so much they went to church and prayed for God to kill you. That's another level. That's another level of hate.
I was thinking, I was like, in that movie, isn't there like one line where someone's like, "Nice outfit. Did your husband buy it for you?"
Spider-Man says that.
He's the cringe homophobic Christian.
Oh man, he is.
All right.
Wow.
Do you want to go next, Aiden?
Sure.
All right, cool.
Let's see what I should do. I've got one from a 1-star review of Knives Out. And
Okay.
So the thing that I think is really funny about this is that the person reviewing it is Ryan Johnson, is like the center of their, is not the center of the review, but they mention him, but it's not in the way that I expected. So it sounds like a pretty average take, but I'll read it for you.
Okay.
A whodunit with like 10% of a mystery, a detective story with no detecting, an ensemble film with nothing but abysmal performances, a political film with inscrutable politics. I admire a lot of Ryan's work, but this is just a train wreck. The only fun thing here is Daniel Craig's foghorn leghorn accent. Though, of course, the film itself has to directly make that reference because it's self-aware and can't let a good thing be without letting you know it knows what it's doing. This is the line that killed me. How he went from making something as genuinely elegant and beautiful as The Last Jedi to this is bewildering. Damn shame.
The Last Jedi?
Yeah. I was so confused because when I saw that at the end, like skimming it, I was like, I thought it was gonna be like,
This is just like The Last Jedi.
no surprise that the guy that made, but no, he's
He's
loves The
defending
Last
it.
Jedi and hates Knives Out. He's
I almost wonder if that's like satire or something, man.
It's hard to tell.
It
It's
is,
hard to tell.
I mean, I can kind of understand where they're coming from. It's a very tell not show movie, at least in the end. Like they'll let the audience figure it out at first, but then at the very end they just lay everything out. Like, yes, we are so smart, and if you were smart, you would have picked up on this as well.
Yeah, let me tell you the whole
I do declare, if you were here,
declare this is the entire point of the movie.
It's a donut's hole and a donut's hole.
All right. Well, that was a good one. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. What do we got? All right, so this one is from Avengers Endgame. Argument in favor. This is the biggest collaborative project in modern Hollywood, and since it has such an enormous budget, it has reached out to the greatest actors, CGI directors, cinemophiles, but all in an attempt to generate as much profit as possible. Critical argument. These movies, they have a weird... yeah, look at this. These...
It's like thesis.
This movie main point is to generate profit rather than to tell a good personal story. I preferred Infinity War as it tried to do this with as much leeway as Marvel would give the director. But here is just... It just feels like the movie is trying to revert all the bold events of the first film so Marvel can continue making movies in the future. This film is more like a PR movie.
Okay.
PR movie than an actual movie. I felt disingenuous and I got bored around 5 minutes in when this became clear.
Oof.
Disingenuous.
That's a pretty scathing take. Have you seen
They're like, wait, guys, I just realized the Marvel Cinematic Universe is just made to make money?
It only took me 20 movies to realize.
Truly baffling.
Oh, no, that's like a... I've seen somebody say online that they want to shift the title from Avatar to Endgame for biggest movie with no pop culture impact, because they're like, has anybody talked about Endgame since it came out?
I mean, they do have a point here that Marvel seems to want to move on as much as they can from Endgame, because like, oh no, this is an ending? We can't have that. There's
like,
money to be made still.
Exactly.
All right. Well, there's that one. You got one?
Yeah, I got another one.
Let's do it.
This one is, I won't tell you the movie. I
Okay.
don't know if you already saw it.
I did not.
This one's really funny. I won't say the name of the movie in the review, but it says this film is so full of negativity, differentiation, and hatred. It is so painful to watch. It is an antithesis to humanism. Not treating others like humans is the only form of communication we get to experience watching this movie. Every word is meant to be hurtful and bitter. There's no soul in this, and besides it being misogynist, sexist, racist, ageist, and fatphobic, it offers no visual and artistic qualities that could at least make it superficially appealing. Embrace humanity and don't watch Pitch Perfect.
I was gonna say Voodoo Apocalypse or any comedy movie from the 90s, but
You said fatphobic, and I was like, Fat
Amy.
I've never even seen Pitch Perfect.
all right. I've seen one Pitch Perfect movie. It was Pitch Perfect 3. And it was in Portuguese. It just happened to be on when I was in Brazil in somebody's house. So just
What's going on?
That's such a...
it was bizarre,
Go to
yeah.
Europe, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I haven't seen any of them. I know there's like 3 of them, but... Ugh.
We've got like a cryptid in the background.
We should have put up the backdrop.
I didn't bring the backdrop. It looked corny last time,
Okay.
so
I
I just
thought it looked good.
Brick wall.
you know,
like, these guys are in an alley.
I think this just is more authentic, but also a little trashy at the same time. So
It's a different setup.
it is a different setup, and that's what we strive for here at Media Pending. We want to give you a different visual experience every time in this audio-centric medium.
Yeah. But it's just really funny that, like, yeah, you're right. It is an early, like, it's like a 2010s. When's it come out? 2012 was when it came out?
Something like that.
When was
Yeah, it's a
the Cup
2010s
song
comedy.
big?
It's like irreverent and everything, but it's like to say that it's like the antithesis of humanity.
Yes, this movie about music and performance and art.
If you think that's
yeah,
an...
Satan's like making. He's like, I've got this idea.
If you think... Okay.
Assembling a team.
I gotta...
Assembling a team of people who can sing. He's like, yeah, the Cup song is actually
I
a
got
satanic ritual.
That song goes hard in Gaelic, actually. Weird tangent, but
Gaelic?
in Gaelic, yeah. My Spanish
most
teacher played it for
demonic
us
language.
in Gaelic. I don't know why, but it was really cool.
Yeah, my Spanish teacher used to teach me Gaelic.
She didn't. She
Worst
had
Spanish
played
teacher
she had
ever.
played the Cup song in Spanish, and then she's like, when I was looking for this, I also found this. It was pretty cool. Here you go.
Could you imagine taking a high school Spanish class and at the end of it you're fluent in Gaelic? You're like, I don't know what the hell happened. Like,
Look,
Was that? I don't think they were qualified. They laid on the resume a little bit. They said they were proficient at a foreign language, and they just assumed.
they just had like an interview with like some random white guy, and they're like, "Oh, you speak Spanish? Can you show me?" Like, you're like, "Oh yeah, check this shit out," and then you just start speaking Gaelic.
Holy crap!
And they're like,
You're
"Sounds
hired."
good enough to me.
they don't speak Spanish, so they're like, oh, well, it didn't sound like he was making it up.
It sounded pretty good to me.
All right,
Oh.
Aiden. It looks like you got one.
Yeah, if you think that's a scathing review of Pitch Perfect, I'm gonna read the first sentence of this review. I guarantee you're not gonna guess the movie. Fascism, children's edition, or the West's justification and propaganda for their own imperialism, but for kids this time. Remember, kids, don't trust and then bomb the shit out of foreigners because they're filthy, deceitful monsters who will steal your kids and ruin your country.
I don't know. What is
The Angry Birds movie. They'll take your nice home away from you, bring their savage cultures to your country, and warp your fellow citizens' minds in the process. And they're scary animals because their species is different, and they don't look like inhabitants of the island filled with the righteous creations of God.
I feel like it's the other way around. It's like an anti-imperialism movie. Because if you think about it, like
It's Angry Birds.
no, but the pigs have like Western style architecture and technology.
Yeah.
And the birds live in like a kind of global south, like kind of utopia. And so like I think if anything, it's anti-European.
I am impressed with the quality of these, Aiden, that you have found so far.
The interview gets worse.
Okay, keep going.
There's so much of it. Like, I'm not going to read all of it, but kill their children so they don't grow up to take things from you. Kill the innocent out of displays of control and fear. Cause chaos in survivors.
Angry Birds.
Yeah, leave the government broken and the citizens with no support. Come as the righteous children of God and leave the cities in ashes and the streets flowing with blood. Leave the broken people crying out of loss, pain, or anguish because they all probably deserved it. Because some of them acted against us and we are the judge, jury, and executioner for who gets to exist in this world. And everyone who doesn't fit in will be left in the carnage that we cause.
You know what's really funny? Do you know who owns Angry Birds?
Ooh.
Sega.
Sega.
Yeah, so Sonic the Hedgehog is apparently a proponent for all of this.
Oh my gosh. Sonic would.
There's so much there. I don't know. I don't even know where to start.
This guy's like played Angry Birds for 5 seconds on his phone.
He's a patron.
A real man of culture, I see. Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, first off, I have not seen the Angry Birds movie, so this could all be true, and I would have no idea. I assume it's not.
Do you know the plot of the Angry Birds movie?
Roughly, I would assume pigs arrive on island, try to take eggs, hijinks ensue.
They do take the eggs.
Yeah.
And then they have to go to their pig's home
They
country.
go to the pig's homeland and they destroy everything. they annihilate. So I think that's the message of the story is the action. It's like it's analogous of
Yeah, they're
Okay.
like, it's about imperialism. And I'm like, no, I actually think that it's the other way around. Unlimited genocide on the first world is what is what the Angry Birds tell us.
it's yeah.
Unlimited genocide on the West.
Media pending, everybody.
I just love somebody who goes to watch like Angry Birds and they're like fascism. Interesting.
Huh. And they got Smosh in there.
Were they in it?
Yeah.
Who were they?
I know one of them was the boomerang bird.
Yeah, one of them was like the boomerang.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang!
Yeah.
They made it big.
For my Smosh heads out there, this was in the time when Ian and Anthony hated each other.
Did they?
Yeah, and they still recorded it, and then they were gonna get into Angry Birds 2, but one of them declined it. So they so lore.
Lore. The Angry Birds lore.
Angry Birds lore.
All right, I've got the next one. It's kind of short. It's from Blade Runner 2049.
Ooh.
Best nap of 2024. To the movie that came out in 2017, but they watched it in 2024. Very slow pacing. Sitting for 2.5 hours feels like 5. The free movie app on TV didn't let me raise the speed. Middle finger.
You watch movies at times 2 speed.
Times 4.
Have you seen that post of the guy who said he accidentally watched an episode of Breaking Bad in times 2 speed? He was like, man, these guys are really hauling today.
They're doing such a good job.
Let's see. Borrowed East Asian aesthetics, terrible portrayal of women, predictable and easy to forget. Love sci-fi, but this sucks. So first off, this seems like the kind of person who watches at 2 times speed and then has like Family Guy funny moments on their phone.
Yeah,
Temple Run.
it's like at my work. I had a coworker. He's like an older guy, but he was telling me, he's like, yeah, what I do to relax is I'll get a golf game going on the TV and I watch like YouTube on my laptop and then look at the news on my phone. I'm like, what is this guy doing?
His attention
Dude's
span
from
is cooked.
He's from a different time.
It's crazy. He's like,
Attention spans are getting cooked. You know, like there's a lot of kids now who
right,
don't
moving
even know how
onward.
to read.
Is it because attention spans are so low?
Well, it's just because of technology, text to speech, videos. I mean, but also attention spans.
it's like I had to watch like a documentary for my class, and there was like what was it, like a movie we had to watch. We had to do like an essay about it afterwards, and I forgot about it till the night before. So I watched an entire documentary about like ocean acidity levels at like 4 times speed.
Okay.
It's like one with like
All right.
Sigourney Weaver. And I like got a good grade on it, dude. It was like amazing. I like absorbed it. I was like, I got a plug-in so I could make the speed 4 times speed on YouTube, and it was just like, let's go, baby.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So I do want to talk about one of the things they mention here. Terrible portrayal of women. Something I've run into recently in media analysis and criticism is that if a piece of media portrays something bad happening and the people who are perpetrating this action don't get like their comeuppance, they think that it is pro blank. A great example was a post on Reddit for the Stormlight Archive where they were talking about, is this book series, does it ever not be pro-slavery? And Aiden, you've read the books.
It's very anti-slavery.
It is incredibly anti-slavery.
I don't remember which book it was, but I remember I started reading it, and like it literally started with a guy killing like a slave master at the start of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's Mistborn.
Yeah, Mistborn. Yeah, I didn't read the rest of it, but
You should. It's good.
yeah, it was like Django Unchained like killed
Yeah.
Yeah.
the slave master. I was like,
So-
cool.
The reason that they felt that way, apparently, was because even like the nobility, which Kaladin ends up like aligning with, they still practice slavery. And Kaladin's not for that, and the better nobles aren't either. But because it's not like universally hated across the board by every character, they see it as pro-slavery.
Dude, media literacy is so dead. Like nowadays, you need to just have like. I made a video where I talked a little bit about this, but the idea that like shows and movies, like they have to like all the characters have to say exactly what they're thinking and doing and how they feel about things, like drives me crazy to no end, and it just feels so fake. But like the more I see online, I'm like, they probably have to do this because like if the character doesn't say like, oh, I did not like that those guys were enslaved in that town we just passed, then the audience is gonna go, did they support that? They didn't say anything about that.
Yeah, and it's funny too because it's like it feels like they have to simplify it a little more, and they don't do like any, I don't know, like just visual storytelling of that, like you know, should be a thing. But anyway,
No, they're looking for their AirPods.
Oh, the red.
Oh, sweet.
Well,
Let's pause and get them their AirPods.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Check this out, guys.
Oh boy!
You guys are gonna like this one.
Welcome back, by the way.
Y'all ain't ready for this one. The movie it's reviewing is Parasite. And the review says, Pyramid. This movie is a gross misrepresentation of reality. In our lavish societies today, no one suffers. Everyone is given the same chances in life. And such everyone is equally prosperous as their fellow citizens. I don't know what kind of bullshit message this movie is trying to convey. I wouldn't recommend it watching it if you dislike propaganda in all caps. Yeah.
Wait, is that legitimate?
Yeah. Sorry, fellas, poverty ain't real.
That is
In our lavish societies today.
Yeah. This dude is like, he's like one of Elon Musk's like 17 like bastard children out there. He's just like, what do you mean poverty?
It's not a real thing.
My dad's never even seen me, and yet I live in this nice house.
Yeah, it was just funny. A lot of the reviews on that were really funny because it was like people being like, I didn't buy it with subtitles. Why is the guy really sad in this movie? Like, why is the dad really sad?
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow!
So yeah, poverty ain't real. Sorry, liberal. Poverty isn't real. It's not going to be as real as you make it
They
up
should
to
just
be.
pull themselves up by their bootstraps.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Have you seen that clip going around of like the guy who does like the financial like podcast where like he takes like calls and like gives like financial advice? You seen the clip of him going like, you know what I'd start doing if I were you? I'd start working 80, 90 hours a week. Have you seen that?
no.
It's so good. It's just like he's just like so out of touch, and like the guy calls in. He's like, "Yeah, we're paying $40K a year for like daycare services," and he's like, "Well, there's your problem.
Just get rid of your
It's like,
kid."
find a cheaper solution. Like, don't spend that much money on daycare." And they're like, "We can." He's like, "Okay," because you got to have the nicest daycare. You got to.
Yes, I want what's best for my child. I mean, what do you want from me here, man?
Drop my child off at a Motel 6. It's like a cardboard like sign on the door that says daycare misspelled.
Oh
Yeah.
no! All right.
I was
You're
gonna
like,
say
don't worry, they got omelets with cheese in this hotel.
That is a deep cut lore reference.
I think the issue with something like Letterbox is it's so hard to tell the satire from the legitimate, and
Yeah.
like it's like the same with like anything online. Like you'll see a comment and be like, that's obviously satire, and then you'll see someone respond in favor, and then the original commenter be like, yeah, I'm glad you get it. You're like, oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
All right. Next up.
Yeah, so like I said, I didn't know we were supposed to pick good films.
No, you don't have to.
So mine's from Fant Four Stick, or Fantastic Four 2015.
Such a good film.
The tagline for this I thought you would like, especially if this is, if I'm being honest, I had more fun eating the entire Denny's Fantastic Four menu.
Den of all evil. Unbelievable.
It's a long review. I had to take 4 screenshots to fit it all. So I'm not gonna.
No.
I'm not gonna. But there's some good things. Like this person comments on everything. Also, am I crazy, or does Michael B. Jordan suddenly and inexplicably have a mustache and goatee in the last scene? He's like, this dude was like looking into it.
Yeah, he's like
going
pausing
frame by
like
frame.
frame by frame.
Oh my gosh. Here's a good one. Do you think these superhero movies keep paying VFX houses to make new giant beams of blue energy, or do they just reuse the same special effect over and over?
Okay, that's pretty good. That's a good one.
Oh, and then I'll show you the last piece. Says, much was made for the fact that Marvel canceled the long-running Fantastic Four comic book in the run-up to this movie's release. At the time, most fans speculated that Marvel was trying to stick it to Fox and didn't want to give the movie any free publicity or support. Having now seen the finished film, I suspect the opposite. Marvel wanted nothing to do with this film and was trying to get as far away from it as possible.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yep. And it's taken nearly a decade for them to be willing to touch Fantastic Four again.
All right. Let's see. I have one more and it's short. Because I have 2 reviews for La La Land. One is very long and one is short.
I found a review for La La Land in Portuguese.
Oh, nice.
It's a 1.5 star.
I think I might have looked at that one too.
I found a tiny review for La La Land, which was, it's like if Kids Bop made a jazz album.
All right, get through this quick because we are pretty much out of time. This movie is lucky to even get half a star from me. What do you mean? They just that I just used up 2 hours of my life and they don't even end up together. First of all, I hate musicals. Second of all, F you, Alex, for showing me this. I hated it. So direct call out to Alex. Shout out. Thank you, sir.
Damn, fuck you, Alex.
But no.
This is my favorite take on La La Land is people like, what do you mean they didn't end up together? What? Where's the happy ending?
Gee, if only life had happy endings all the time, you know?
Yeah, we did. We live in a lavish society today and have eliminated poverty. So
it's so funny to me because there's so many people that clamor online for La La Land to have had a happy ending. If it did, I guarantee you we would not still be talking about this movie today. It would have been forgotten. Yeah. It would have just been another movie that came out. Like, the reason it is considered to be such a good story, such good storytelling, cinematically, like a masterpiece, is because of the way that they handle the story, the way it ends. And like, it's because it is a profound message. It's a deep theme. You leave the theater thinking about it afterwards. Mm-hmm. And if it had just worked out and they'd gotten together, I would have walked in my car and be like, oh, that was a fun movie.
Yeah. I love La La Land.
Yeah.
But you can also have it both ways though. Because if you stop the movie
during the flashback.
Yeah, during the flashback or the what if that is going on in Mia's mind, you can have the nice ending if you want. Yeah. If you want to delude yourself from reality, sure, go for it.
Did you see that La La Land? Like, it's real. It's in real life now.
What do you mean? Please elaborate.
During the Oscars, Ryan Gosling performed music on stage, and Emma Stone got an Oscar for acting. People are like, they're their characters in real life.
Life imitates art.
Yeah, I don't know, because I feel like when I watched La La Land, I was like, this isn't necessarily a bad ending. It's just like real life, but it's like, it's actually like, I don't know, a good ending because as like people, there's growth.
Oh yeah.
We just don't get to see the fruition of it, but instead we see the start of it. And it's like almost like, I don't know, like it's almost more kind of real that way, like looking at like
that you might like this person.
Yeah.
And you might be able to see yourself having a life with them, but
yeah,
you want different things.
There's like they in the end, like they value their own, like, I don't know, personal growth and decide not to like make a compromise for each other. And it's like, that's actually like, I don't know, like kind of I don't know, like they kind of instead try to like learn to love themselves in a way by focusing on that. And it's like, that's actually like, I don't know, like a beautiful ending and happy ending. But I don't know. It's like, I feel like, especially like a lot of people who might like should have been like, they should have ended up together or whatever. Like, I wonder if it's kind of people who have this, like, I don't know, like the people who like felt like rushed to like marry or things like that, watching that. And they're like, why? And it's like, yeah, sure. Like a couple pairing might be good for like some people in life, but it's like cool because it like gets to show like, not every relationship needs to be a happy ending. It can be something beautiful.
It can be something that helps you get where you need to go.
It's beautiful and temporary and you enjoy it for the moment. And then, it's not this magical thing that like elevates you. to like success, like pretty much every other movie portrays it. So I don't know. I really like that movie. So
I think it's, you know, it's indicative of a lot of like the timeless like stories from like history. Is like, you think about the stories that have like really like prevailed through generations. It's like, it's not the ones that are just wrapped up neat in a bow and it's a happy story. It's stories that teach a message, have some sort of warning, and they don't always have happy endings. Like, oh, the two little kids got eaten by the witch in the forest, and the message is like, don't do what they did.
yeah.
Whereas like if things work out, kids listen to the story and go, oh well, I guess there's really nothing to worry about at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I would agree with what you said, and I'd extend it to like, you know, sometimes in life it doesn't always work out, and it's interesting to. And I also don't think that the message of the movie is that two people can't both pursue their dreams and end up together. Like, I think some people think the message of the movie is like, in order to be successful, like you need to not be in a relationship. And
right. It's it's not that, but I feel like, I don't know. There's kind of this expectation from like film that like people always assume it's supposed to make you feel good. But like, I feel like good film is something that makes you feel like a different feeling that might be like uncomfortable or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. La La Land was just good because it gives you those like the full range of like emotions in it. Whereas like, you know, other kind of romance movies or whatever, it's like, it's just like happy euphoria all the time. I don't know, but
Well, thank you for watching. What the heck happened to Damien, Giselle, and Jazz? That's all I got to say. All right, bye.
I